We are seated again. Welcome back. This is still WTV. Sorry, Nashre. We are still here, but this is time for 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘. And during 𝗟𝗜𝗙𝗘, you know that we discuss the big issues in the country and things that we have selected to talk about. There will be time for you to also step in with your calls and with your comments, but I have been joined by the Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel K. Asante, who is a theologian and a past chairman of the National Peace Council. Peter Wonders is a lecturer with the African University College of Communications, and 𝗟𝗚𝗙, a journalist and a two-time nominee for BBC 𝗟𝗏𝗡 Award. Our topic for today is Ghana at 67. What should be the priorities for the nation's development blueprint or the nation's plan? So what are we discussing today? This is what we are discussing today, and we hope that you will sit back and jot down your points. When it's time for you to step in, you would also do so to step in. Peter, welcome.
Thank you.
Pa, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
The two of you look good today, but it looks like there's less fire. Or when we start, the fire will come.
Oh,
It's not a debate.
It's not a debate.
No.
Why is it not a debate?
It's not a debate because normally there's the Anakan saying that Irene Pankasa or something. Good, absolutely.
Okay. We are actually the month of the motherland, and Peter has some drawings on his shirt, and 𝗟𝗚𝗙 is also in an African print, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay, but today's topic, I was thinking about it and I asked myself, so what is really the role of the National Development Planning Commission? It's not yet an authority, it's a commission. I was asking myself, what is their role in all this? But 𝗟𝗚𝗙, can you tell us?
Okay, so first of all, good morning to your very good self, and Peter, my brother, and all our cherished, viewers across board. The NDPC, I quite remember, this should be 2 years ago, I interviewed is it Dr. 𝗟𝗏𝗡 or something, I've forgotten the name, is the head of the commission. We had an extensive conversation. I wanted to ask him that, I actually asked him that the commission is supposed to develop a developmental blueprint that is supposed to guide all the policy interventions in this particular country. Indeed, they've even done that. I think they did it during the Mills administration long ago, but as of now, it's sitting down, it is gathering dust, and it is not being implemented. However, political parties still have the opportunity to roll out their policies and all of that. And the political parties are not compelled to tailor their manifestos in a way that reflects the aspirations of the National Development Plan. So I quite remember telling him that if the propositions in that plan are not binding, we might as well go ahead and say that then that outfit is particularly useless, so to speak, because if they come out as a commission and say that, look, regarding education, this is what we want to achieve as a country. Where health is concerned, these are our objectives. In the area of sports, in the area of economics, these are the targets we want to hit. If they develop that blueprint, but that blueprint does not inform the manifesto considerations of political parties who actually would win the power to come and execute, then at the end of the day, what is the essence? So this morning, I think what I told him is basically the same thing that I'll reiterate here. If the blueprints that they have is not regulating policy conversations in this country, with the greatest of respect, we may want to say they have become like a white elephant. I don't know.
Peter Wonders, what is actually a development blueprint? And as NDPC, have they served its purpose?
Se impo omo ayebrebi etesa enye minua Shandoff 𝗟𝗚𝗙 na o say wakwa interview a me as Peter Wonders mente ho empanyinsem ewo mu se minim se brebi e wo saa but me ka se mente ho empanyinsem na say they have been kept in a one corner sabio emfaso bia emma so ye mato sabi me de mihu eso emfaso bia ye asene se emfaso e wo so a anka saa mbre yi mo no ye hunu ombobre ebio say ye timi ayan say emra that will bind the political parties in Ghana, that your manifesto must reflect objectives in their plan. But if there's no binding commitment from them, maybe tailoring it to maybe the Parliament House passing a bill or a law and enforcing it, say political parties, your manifesto, your activities, your vision, your motives and everything, or your mission, then you know, should reflect the agenda of these NDP. Then, in some countries, we say, I buy a bar, say, I can see a dog with any one, but you will be do see, you know, we bar or twasso. That reflects the development plan. But unfortunately, say, obi way back. No, or shall say or pie kwanya. The next person back Ojato. And a clear example is President Kufuor.
Peter, you hold on to that. But what is a development plan?
Development plan is saying she said that for impuntu. And she said that for improve or mind impuntu. So she said you want she share A, B, C. You better say, and a developmental plan.
About Ghana, how you will be there.
I'm Kenya. See, you will be put out me. See me, me. I don't know why. I don't know why he's hanging. Me need to do. I don't know. Say, no one knows about it except say, because it's a journalist, you know, or access to these employees to me near Ekasa. But me, I'm a teacher. You know, be or what's I know because I don't have access to them. They must be accessible. So even if I want to do maybe research, conduct research into the activity, I don't know them. I don't know where they located. I don't even know. So, what is happening? You've ever had the opportunity to even meet them?
Oh, I've read about them.
But
meeting them, no.
Of course, yeah. That's what I'm saying, that they've been kept in one corner. So I don't know about them. I've not seen anything about them. So for me, if you ask me about them, I can't say much about them. Yes.
Interesting. Pa, and I mean, we have a 40-year plan to follow up to 2057 as a country. Now NDPC has stepped in. You said they have not served their purpose. Where do we stand then as a country if they are not serving their purpose?
If they are not serving their purpose, which of course clearly they are not, because the considerations in that document is not binding. Now, since that is the situation, then as a country it means that we are left to the mercy and the discretion of political parties.
Okay.
I want to talk specifically on this matter. I want to make particular reference to the free SHS policy, for example.
Okay.
Now, before it was fully implemented by the New Patriotic Party, the NDC had started the implementation of the policy, but in a way, it was not a full-blown implementation yet.
Okay.
The John Mahama administration then was a selective and a procedural rollout of the policy. So the idea was, let us target selected communities and schools where the extent of poverty and deprivation is more deepened. So those places where people are poorer, so to speak, we're going to roll it out with them. And then there was also the consideration that it was going to start with day students, because before finally it is fleshed out into a full policy like we have now. Now, the free SHS policy, without any political consideration, is actually a very useful policy intervention. But this is why it became a political tool, and of course the NPP benefited at the end of the day. It's because as a country, we do not have a collective idea where senior high school education is concerned. Now let me cite an example, or let me try and even drive home the message better. If we had, as a country, if we had agreed that, look, regarding senior high school education, we were going to implement a free senior high school program. It was going to start at this period and end at that period. I don't think any political party would have made it their trump card and subsequently profited from it, because at the end of the day, it was going to be something that is already in our national, plan all right? I mean, no one will fail more. So if you came to do it in any way, it would not be, we won't give you the credit. It won't be your novel or ingenious idea because already it is captured as part of our developmental considerations.
But let me just something. Let me say I disagree with you on that premise. When we say a national development plan, so what we should have done is Party A, how soon? A friend is saying duration. We to me the execute a national development plan.
No, Peter.
I know what I'm saying. So if you are for NDC, if you are NDC, then tell us the duration that you take, how much it will
actually
take you. It's a development plan, right?
No,
it's a development plan.
So
for both NDC and NPP. So any party that comes to power must have it executed. So you tell us how soon,
Peter,
how you be able to roll out that program.
So just a second. Just a second.
Becomes a bit heated.
But I want to clarify something.
Okay.
The policy considerations in the National Development Plan actually have their timelines. It's not the political parties that we even decide in the first place.
Okay.
So it is to, for example, let's say within 2024 to 2020, Ghana is supposed to do ABC. So when you are coming in as a political party, you tell us how you do it. You don't determine the timeline.
Should that be in the manifesto? Should that be in the manifesto?
It should be in the manifesto.
No, of course, that's the point.
Okay, thank you very much. Now let's go. Wait, hold on. Peter, hold on. Please hold on. Let's speak to Most Reverend Dr. Emmanuel 𝗟𝗓𝗘, Professor 𝗟𝗓𝗘, who is a theologian and a past chairman of the National Peace Council. Now, say, what is a planning or a development blueprint?
Past presiding bishop rather than past National Peace Council.
Okay. Past presiding bishop.
WTV.
Okay, sir.
And I'm talking as a past presiding bishop.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Better.
Okay. Now, bisa say there any development blueprint edema or mind bia.
Well, on my BR, I wouldn't say on my BR because I'm going on my BR, but at least here at the war. NDPC. And way back when you go back to Kwame Nkrumah's time, we had what, Nkrumah had developed 7-year development plan. Every EBR or BR set up a development plan.
Okay.
The NDPC has the responsibility say develop a national plan for us. And that national plan, I do believe say Senka, my weight or our national plan also. Then we would expect say parties' manifestos will tap into the national plan and say this is the national plan. Yeah, bar ABC. And this is how we're going to do it. This is how we're going to do it. Na among force what transfer near here. Na nipa official bit my near to Obama.
Okay.
Unfortunately for us, the NDPC plans are I don't think parties' manifestos, I'm sure they will read and they might want to bring 1 or 2 things in there, but we are not giving, it's not giving the priority. NDPC plan or we need a national plan as a bind big banners are buying on your Juma bit according to your national plan or say anything. Now so by all kinds of national plan or by say anything now by now 1 year so that we will judge you. Some manifesto sempre how many people and our political parties in Mukra or more party or more kinka or manifesto. Ghana for how many of us need manifesto any other. And not until say NDPC, the prominence these every year debema na plans na wo hono. Ebeye ayi bibia enforceable. Say omo ye plan. Ne?
Okay, we've lost him. He will get back to us again. But Pakwesi, you were saying something. So we should hold them accountable for that.
Yes, I was making the point that, like Presiding was saying, the plan is supposed to be the the mother document, all policy interventions are supposed to, take inspiration from it. So in education, for example, if we say that we are going to do X, Y, Z within ABC period, what that would mean that if you're a political party, you now have to tell us the specific mechanism you would employ, or that exact approach that you are going to bring on board to ensure that that objective in the plan is executed. The advantage that would have given us as a country generally is that we'd be able to have a more policy-informed political discussion. Let me cite an example. So let's say I am Party A, and his Party B. I wanted to do his Party NDC or Party NPP, but he may not like the idea. I told you, he may not like the idea.
Party A, you can use colors.
Now one want to baby. Oh yeah, now the BS I got target.
Party A, Party B. Okay, so Party A, Party B. The national development.
A, one A, B.
I am A. Let's say I'm A. He's Party B. Okay.
I'm A. You are B.
No, why is he not taking? Is it because there is a certain Baumia in some party? I'm saying he's Party B. I am Party A. Let's assume, say, the NDP says that, okay, so this beautiful piece of artwork that we have here is supposed to reach, let's say, the roof by 2040. That is the plan. I am Party A, he's Party B. If we had such a template, now, what I'm supposed to come and do in my policy is to tell Ghanaians how I will elevate it from this lower point to that desired upper
So you're talking
roof.
about growth?
Growth, okay. He too would come and then he may come and say that, okay, if Shandov thinks that, if Shandov's party thinks that, okay, in doing so, they have to erect blocks under this piece of artwork. Another person would say that, no, you don't really have to, erect any blocks. Just look for a machine to elevate it. Then Ghanaians will now be interrogating the approach. This is the objective. Whether you use blocks or you use whatever, ultimately it must get to the top. Okay, then Ghanaians will now be interrogating, okay, so which policy is more feasible? That would have been the advantage of the plan if it was binding and it was enforced. You realize that morning shows and all political conversations would be more policy concentrated because Ghanaians already know what we want. But because we don't have it, now what we are left with is that the political parties come and say, even this piece of artwork, they don't even like it at all. Some will even say they don't even like it at all. Others will even come and say that, look, we are even going to throw it away. We want to go and bring, a golden stool here. Do you understand? There is no blueprint to follow. And in the absence of it, we can't measure our progress because really, that's how come we don't have policy continuity in this country. One regime begins an initiative, another person comes, he revises, he thinks that, oh no, this is not really, in line with my objectives. And then the thing becomes, a stale project. Look at a very cost-intensive project like the 𝗟𝗓𝗡 housing project. Yeah. What has become of it? There are so many of such projects, and it's because there is nobody to a government to come and say that, well, I have my priorities in development, and I'm going to focus on my priorities. I made XYZ promise to ABC people. I want to quickly touch on the National Cathedral on this matter.
Okay.
Look at something like the National Cathedral. I am not one of the people who has necessarily condemned the construction of the National Cathedral because, apart from my Christian biases, I think it's still a good initiative. It may have a couple of, tourist, incentives and all of that. But then it is something that should have sat into the collective aspiration of the country as Ghanaians. It should have been something that we all wanted to do. It shouldn't have been necessarily a political party promise. That is how come we're having the challenge we're having. Because then there is no consensus. The NDC thinks that it's a useless expenditure. The NPP insists that it's a necessary undertaking. And therefore, there are divided opinion and clashes. But if that cathedral, that policy, for example, was captured in a holistic national plan, you realize that we won't have all the brouhaha, and that is how come you can see the state now. So as for a development plan, it's important because, yes, it helps to, shape the policy dialogue and creates that kind of unanimity and harmony where, progress and development is generally concerned.
Quickly, before I come to Peter Wonders, we have one that would end in 2057. Why are we hesitant in following that?
It is not binding. It is not binding. I was just doing, if you may, I just left the page. I was just doing a quick read on it in the course of the conversation. If you look at the act itself, it is not binding. It is not enforceable. And a good law must be able to must be enforceable. If a law is not enforceable, it's not binding. Okay, what happens if you flout it?
Why do you say it is not enforceable?
It is not enforceable because when you study the act properly, you realize that if a party deviates, there are no sanctions.
Okay.
There are no sanctions. So it has been left to really the will and the discretion of the political parties. So if the plan says that, okay, free SHS should maybe include only Greater Accra, I'm giving an example, a political party can extend it beyond Greater Accra and nothing can be done. Nobody can go to the court and enforce it and say that, look, the policy says A, party A is doing B. And if we have laws or we have policies that are not binding, what becomes of them? It must be binding. That is what we've all been calling for. That, look, all the parties must come together, put their heads together and say that, look, we are all going in this direction. If you deviate, we would penalize you. The populace themselves will come after you. The laws will deal with you. Until we have inserted that kind of clause, or we have inserted that kind of spirit into those plans, we are not going anywhere. Because I can be a political, a flag bearer, I'll look at it and say, okay, I don't really like this, I won't follow it, and it will not do anything.
Okay. Peter, you were having a heated conversation with Pa, saying that you didn't want the fact that a political party would decide that you want to do this or you want to do that.
Oh yeah, not me say development plan. Idea, but I was coming from an angle, and unfortunately, I bring be a minute pabay argument, be no, or can say that be Obetran and one, Yamekan, no, Messi so. As someone may can on the may, you know, no business. Mr. say, if your development plan, tell us, say me bar, Dana may yet to achieve these objectives. Be me the 2 years, me the 3 years, me the 4 years, me chance say, no, my say, then you better read your say, yeah, your manifesto. Me can a minute, you prefer what's a business. And the palm me car somewhere, you don't know, me car somewhere, yet you.
Peter, and say,
oh, me sorry for move. Oh, yeah, me bro. Where am I? Yo. Enti
some person who hold you no. Some person me call phone line so now me say
cobra.
Enti
cobra na. I say one year some collabobi cause. Oh, we don't kasa yo. Na one wa kasa. Yo, Martin.
Enti e call phone line say ne Professor Samuel Kofi Afrano, president edema the Christian Service University College Kumasi. Oye associate professor in planning. Good morning, sir. Good morning, Prof. Good morning, Prof.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning, Prof. Now, a person bisa say planning and as a development blueprint a day idea cry.
Go again. I didn't get your question well.
Now, maybe say development blueprint. What is it at all?
Oh, okay. Good morning, panel and in the studio, and also the listeners. Thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this discussion.
Okay.
Unfortunately, no. And I think you're using P or she's speaking English.
Oh, but you made the tune in Afra.
We are aware of our discussions now. Quarcoo. It is Kobase. I'm repeating, or I appear to be taking you back. Please forgive me because I've just joined the discussion. I don't have knowledge of what has gone before me, and therefore I'm joining at a time, and I don't know how the trend has been. So forgive me if I don't appear to be PTE. But based on your question of what is development planning, development planning is a nation or a community or an institution attempt to understand the dynamics of that particular system, that particular institution, that particular country, and to identify how it can improve upon its development performance, and to develop ways and means of moving that particular institution forward. In here, I would say, a choir, as a crew, and as a mind, and as any human community, they are tries to understand. So the Nema Ecoso, a woman, Nema Enkuye, now on your vision of Botaibi said, yes, it fit her. Now, to improve the performance of that particular system. Where the system can be a country, it can be a region, it can be a city, it can be an education institution, it can even be a church. So that is development planning in house. I will simplify it.
Okay. What should be contained in one, or say can say a say what should be contained in that report?
Yeah,
Now me bisa say what should be the ingredients ebe cause development planning?
Oh, okay, good. The development plan must first be based on a survey. It must be based on a study, an investigation that helps you to understand the system. In fact, development plans are guided by 5 main questions.
Okay.
Yes, the first question you ask is, where are we coming from? That is, what is our history? It is Ghana. What has been our development history? The second question is, where are we today? What is our current, our current situation in terms of our development? What is our current situation in terms of population, in terms of our human resource, in terms of our education, in terms of our exports, in terms of our industries? So that answers the question, where are we today? Good. Then the third question is, where do we want to go? So as a nation, as an education institution, as a region or district, where do we want to go? This is no echo. And only the third question we ask in development planning. And the fourth question is, how do we get there? And that is, what is our strategy? How do we? Are we going to build industries? Are we going to improve agriculture? Are we going to provide energy? What type of energy sources do we need? So the fourth question is, how do we go there? How do we get there? To the vision that we have defined for ourselves. And the last question is, how do we know we are getting there? How do we know we are getting there? And that is monitoring and evaluation. So if we talk about development planning as ingredients, yes, then these are the 5 main questions which if we pose those questions and we find answers to them, the outcome will be a development plan.
Okay.
So number 1, development history. Number 2, situational analysis. Number 3, our vision. Number 4, our strategy. And number 5, monitoring and evaluation. These are the questions of pillars or about a development plan.
Okay. And the Prof, what can we know? Osha Ghana, you will be there.
Ghana, do we have a development plan? Do we have a vision and a focus? Sadly, we have made several very good attempts at development planning. Very good one. And the first one was in 1927, the 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗍𝗘 plan, which gave us 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗍𝗘, 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗍𝗘, the Eastern Railway Line, and others. As far back as 2019 and 1918. And the government literature tells us that maybe one country that led, I mean, what is the Russian Bolshevik Revolution. Apart from that, Ghana is one of the leading in history who have practiced development planning for a long time. But the problem with us is that we have done badly in plan implementation. That is the problem of our country. As for development plans, we have a long history of them. If I talk about the 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗍𝗘 one, then we have the popular ones like the commerce one, Work and Happiness. I'm sure we all remember those who are above 50. Work and Happiness plan. That didn't work, and then it came to 5-year development plan, 7-year development plan by by Champo and Kufo, and then we changed into what we call economic recovery program and then structural adjustment. These were all form of development plans. But the sad thing is that we have not implemented them well. That is the tragedy of our country. Yes.
What is the setback? What stops us from implementing all these that you have mentioned?
Please go ahead. I didn't get your question.
I'm asking, what is setting us back? What is stopping us from implementing all that you have mentioned?
Very good. One major problem is that these plans are often politically driven. You see, when one government is in power, they facilitate a development plan. And we don't often get a national development agenda, a consensus, which all other political parties and all other groups buy into. So the plans are often not, they don't represent the collective worldview, the collective vision of the nation. So as soon as government change, then the plans also, the next government doesn't show commitment to implementing it. Sadly, some of our politicians say, and it's very, very unfortunate, that they were elected on political manifestos. You see? So if they were elected on a manifesto and they must implement their manifesto, then the manifesto will die when they also go. When they finish, either they are overthrown or they are voted out of power. And that has been one major reason why we have not done well in implementing our plans. Quite often too, the financing of our plans depends so much on external resource inflow. You see, when you have a plan and you must depend on somebody from somewhere to finance the plan, you must be a good boy to continue to get that money from them. And they also go through some changes. See, so the plans don't come with a well-crafted local resource mobilization strategy to fund the implementation, overly dependent on external funding. And when that happens, you don't get the plan to be fully implemented. But the major problem for me, as somebody who operates within the development planning arena, is that we don't often get a national development agenda, which represents the view of people in the country, so that governments will come and go, the agenda will continue. I think that is the a major problem. The resourcing and financing is also not locally driven. And therefore, it is so exposed to externality, and you don't get plans implemented that way.
Prof, finally, before you go, now most countries or most developing countries have their own priorities. But as a country, what should be our priority in terms of our development planning?
What should be our priority? Is that a question?
Yes.
Yes, good. Our priority, number one, our plans should focus on investments that drive national development. Many of our investments are, they are more symbolic projects. Yes, this government was seem to have done this, flyover. This government did this particular industry. This government did that, and then it is counted as something to their credit. Our priorities must be economic, industrial, agricultural projects, which drives the economy. We should invest in such things.
Okay.
But not because it's symbolic, not because it's nice. So our priorities, if I will put it, agriculture, transformation of our agricultural system should be number one.
Okay.
Close to 50% of our labor force are involved in agric. We are blessed with good with fertile lands and tracts of agricultural resources, and our plan should be there to develop agriculture, so that agriculture would make natural demands for industry, so that our agricultural produce would feed our industrial system, our industrial kind of programs, and then we will produce kind of goods that are actually supported by our indigenous raw materials kind of capacity, and then we can produce and export to first our neighbors and overseas, and then the nation will develop. So because of my priorities, and our industry shouldn't be only the mines where the mines are just exported raw material. No. Our gold and our timber, and up to now, our cocoa is exported. Majority is in form of raw beef. No, we are in the 21st century, and we shouldn't do that. So our priorities, if I will summarize, agricultural transformation, leading to industrialization, and third, putting more resources in the service sector, banking, tourism, those kind of services that also support agriculture and industrial development. And then we will go places. Agri, industry, services. Prioritizing within this, it will change our nation.
Prof, Adzika. So you heard from Professor 𝗟𝗏𝗃𝗏. He's the president for the Christian Service University College in Kumasi. Peter, na o can be, but na Ghana blueprint development na de. But you were saying something. Because we come trim, but we see the definitely the beka brofo, but who de?
That's it. When am I having a chrome saying in Tembrofo? Yeah, as someone will be say, yeah, check me, say. I was say someone a development plan, yeah. And on a prof, Abeka as issue. Now I can say our priority. And I'm sure make so restrict it to the first question again to us. And Uber said last week, as someone Abeka, yeah. And on a prof also it's issue. With regard to a Greek, any coming coma, any swadi, and then unfortunately, from where Prof. Epikefi, or free a sub-systemic. Now, and some you do so Prof. Kano. I would have said, say, you develop individuals.
Individuals first.
Yes,
that should be a priority.
Yes.
Okay.
You develop your own year, and some you to me affect the industries.
Okay, now, say and develop your one. What are you trying to say?
Me kaba. You be develop your one. When so come and chroma start to say obe develop Ghana no. The first point of a year or year vision is say obe develop the individual. You school sem. Adi you share school. Any skills are be polish the skills you have, the talent you have, and be polish. So skills no, and be ye juma. Ewo sa efuemu. Ewo factory ho no. Ebe won se bedu benzo, you be see factories ni na. Ni any technical know how. Obi eni ho betumi manage machines. Obi eni ho dum ayi. Woni say me the students efiri akọ ayi ekura say forest. Na me check climate change. Ti me don call forest. No what forest is. You do what more. Say na obi etsan krom ha ohun kokko dua mpoda. Obi ahu body adua onim say ye twa se na ye twa banche dua si ho afifie no. Sa na university. O tran krom a onim sa na ema wi. E just say ka say on mine ye developmental planner. Media and can say capacity building should be the first. That's the development of the individual. Now me can say so me ka ko wie say ade no a yesua wo school no yen so ne so yen se ani esa ne say obi wie school no ba bonten a ne nsa we ontimi fanya hwe enu to last bit na aka say uyi kwame osaje fofiri wo no mo a anka media wo hwe me age na antimedia me ka ne mahunu aban anka oba ya Ghana besesa Rollins abai 1990 ambura ode agric eba ye ayesua wo school ode technical skills ba ye technical drawing ba ye vocational skills ba ye life skills ba ye enu be free won unumadune ne we ketra unumata de pam unim block lane unim na mienu miensa bi utumi ye besi ndi ameni bituwe ansa na mefre plumber so mbra me fie no na ache so ansa mefre bi so mama ye bibi no me amitumi de mensa ye eye bribi ni say person o man no tum pon say ne ye ka say development plan no na se ye develop ye ka say hete wono modia sister I'm afraid enti se ka say ye hwia antina esi awuti wei ye ro kwagina asase bi so na ebisa wo say asase ye wei ye ne sen ama aduan fi so ahwa ho betew esa ne climate change nti enne ya asase no entumi mma ye enduban dodo a ye de ye pe na wonim say ye wade bi fe kokopit wonim say wo aquaculture wo sa ni ma mi kan bebe na nim say sabe kokopit eye kube eti the husk no munyam antina ya nyam kube aye wie ye die ya na ti no honhon no ya nyam yetumi man fertilizer ma ma ye duane sa na edua ade efamu no sa kokopit no udua aduane wo mu a efifi ma so ma wotidi yetumi dua aduane ewo nsuo mu enne ema aduane mi yedi ensasase na adwen se ma aduane biom a ene ma bebere wo ebetumi de yensa ade aye se nye hanen poda meti America antina ebia nka wonte da ente me kire se ye wo talent wo hono mu a ewo se yenwene yesiesie ma oma mutumi be ade eka oma be na etu amene oti we ye ko school courses ba na ye ne ne tie wuo sabio me nka se tie wuo ode me twesan nia ye ko school a ontumi nka 1+1 is equal to 2 ana se atwere hano no ye so onko vocational technical school onko vocational school but sani pano bia memory retention bi na ade hano be wo de bibi tu no nsam a otumi nwini ne tie wuo na iti wu ye enti ye wo kwan be fa so dandan sani pa yi a ade bi nyankopon de adue ni mu no ebetumi aboa man no be na ye hwe ne saa utie wu a na sabio ye hwe se utie wu a ko technical school convocation enne obi ambesa my technical courses obi ambesa vocational courses so onye twa 6 ongo science otwa 45 ongo technical sa na de etie na mumu no technology ye kan okwa aman bi so no won o ma ben na ye technology o ma ben na ye duane na okwa airplane mu mo ye duane so be ka fra obutie kete so obutie wu na mo mo ti ship mu mo ye duane obutie wu na enti no oman no yensesa ade a yesua e wo school ene a me no ka say abaye won say professor bi e wo engineering or engineer wo deploy ase ne sem ana test ase ne sem a wo hukuta esa ne say wanwene wadine baba ego ne tim onim kwa e fa so a ye dan a school driver. Oh, no, you should go beyond that. You are more practical. It's last week I came in here. I park with simple say. What's that meter at university? But now one madam na practical say branding say. Over my class what on Saturday mini na metals up from by 27 April. Metals up from move from money me na me say kolana to me aye a brand bia nkwan for career women. Unya fi adwuma kwa. Nya wunyira ne se ubestimi wonam unya hwegu mu pa ne nhye wo ye why onko ewi it is a Ghana for sa de ego mutim ana ma ye hyeto a e powdered all you need say fa nwagu so enwagu jaso na de tip ayi no powder no gum wonya hyeto so wo na meche no it is a student nipa wo wiase na se betumi anwene omu atoni omu ama bibie omu mu apia ba anoma no ntompon and now say what crime be every brochure Prophet Kasano ka say we should go into a Greek. Here omanpay Mahama adwen papa or the bar ya obesi commander factory. Problem when you want to say you need raw materials and if feedi esa factory no. Say ka mene wo agi to mu say kodo afuo eye ahwedifuo a anka benya
oh Peter say kodo afuo nka ye nte ha wo.
O say
nka ye ntina.
Sister me kan ko kire wo say anka ye wo input ye de ye afuo a anka me nkira de biom Some was come to tractor me fi leta ho me kan me no kira me kire wo
o nkira de biom
me nkira biom me ko me ko ye kwia
yo
no kwa me ka kire wo enti no ye nyini enfri pempen so a ye de aso ato ye kon ho ye nyini enfri pempen so a ye de sekan edo ye nu pempen so a ye de tractor beba oman ni mu na last week I said yeah, to me, we can't afford it now. So what we should do is they say, I buy the bar, penny to work a developmental plan. Yeah. Say okay, Agric now you know, and I saw Agric, and second Agric, name the mechanized one, and for that matter, I buy a cram machines at the Google. And I'm saying, question come from municipal assemblies. It is a one night and now opposite Domawa, who go Bukua, now Baba Do, now was why what was what a fool now come with him. Everybody no say aduan ba buso o man no say ye be nya bimpo afidi ye factories man pay ku for ba start factory e go wie say me ka said tomato factory start e go wie say esa ne say lu man penso bi no ye nya won a ye do tomatoes nti no ye nya mpo bi fidi factory no abegu sister antena mama san ka bi njira na me ka say voter black voter white voter oti every Benin enam Togo ba ni nyina bo mu a ekoyo na ko free na asen ko wo mriku anke betumi na fish farming say to me a fish farming from Boku and from Wa and from Oti kwanta ho de mo a nsuo na free ba ebe pie adan ha no mo a sister anam de betumi ara na yintumi wi if said ye and you come my so koton am en sika gu ye botom inside the ministry of fisheries ti ye betna ye offices kekaya na interventions be ne dey ba enne ye betumi ka say developmental plan that ho say okay afimu ye ni so dey hunu say ye pese nya enam kentan mi yenu say penam kentan mi yenu a ye sha say sen akowie ne sen esadia and let's get into this. Tafi we be say nya banche bottom mienu a ye sha se sen awie ne sen and ye ne say ne nko ne say hwe me ka kire me student na me kire climate change na me kire students ne say ne emma ensuo anase flat e ba ne say wonna wasi dan wa cement fio wa tile fio me so masi dan matale pa kwasi asidan wa tile fio ensuo wo say kwa sase ne mu no ne nyina to a na so le ko taketwa no aye de aircon e besi den ama flat emma entino yenko ye fie apart from ye be pack ye cars no wo no ne aka ne ntutu na empo yenfa nua banchen yenfa nua bode me cars a class no na akwa manko ye o na no mom ko cho fufuro neighbor na neighbor no so ko tutu ne be bi no odi bode e se ho ani nansa neighbor na atwa bode na be chese masa ne o tse me hwe o ne aye Men so me fear me team. And I mean some small plot me. Na me dear banche. Me to banche dear baako. Chance ma. Na me class no. Until na time aso.
Mpacho time aso.
Oh, na pack us up out.
Oh,
Pack us up out.
Right now.
Yo, Mate.
Oh, what should be our priorities?
Before I touch on what I think should be our priorities, I want to commend the suggestions that he has made. It's true, we need a practically oriented educational system that departs from just the theoretical aspect of learning. No disrespect to the tertiary students that we have and those who have had a feel of the university. But the truth of the matter is that the majority of those individuals do not have any practical, productive, skills, so to speak. So you can randomize it and, conduct the research. Pick 4 or 5 students from the university and ask them to just put a report together, even sometimes application letters. It's always a difficulty, and that is because the nature of our educational system is such that the design is for you to memorize, you pour out what you have committed to memory, and then you are given scores. So you do not really assimilate the knowledge. The knowledge does not really become a part of your operational faculty. It's just for the purposes of recollection and then marks acquisition. So you learn, for example, a particular topic. Let's say that you are studying the human anatomy. Well, that is even more practical. Let's say that you are studying something around the history of Ghana. You learn all the timelines, the political events from independence, all the way to the emergence of the 1992 Constitution and all of that. You go and sit in the exams hall, you reproduce what you have committed to memory, you are giving scores. At the end of the day, what's the practical essence? And that is how come we are not able to develop. So I side with him when he makes the case strongly that we should reorient our educational it is the first time. I side with him. I side so strongly with him because the graduates that we are producing, and that is how come we have this challenge of graduate unemployment. And today I think I want to say this. It's something that has been on my mind for a long time. I think this is an opportunity for me to say it. Most of the people who claim that they are unemployed, properly speaking, they don't have any right to make that assertion in the very first place. I'm going to tell you why. If you look at
before you tell me why, let me open the phone line. 02562534661. 02562534661. Also be to me, Afarley. Your question of the day is so and they say the question of the day. But just go ahead.
I was making the point that many of those who insist and they forcefully argue that they are unemployed, they do not even properly so to speak, qualify to consider themselves as unemployed. Why do I say so? When you look at the technical definition of unemployment, it says that it is people who are willing and able to work, yet there is no avenue. Willing and people who are willing and then they are able. So there must be the desire, and complementing the desire must be an ability. So it's not just the desire to work. There must be a stated ability. Many of the graduates that we churn in this our country have the desire to work, but where is the ability? There is, for most of them, they don't have any relevant work or productive skill. So, for example, someone goes to the university, no disrespect, maybe the person goes to read, a Bachelor of Arts degree program in linguistics and sociology, for example. When the person leaves the university, what productive skill has the person been able to acquire that would put the person in that able category for anybody to extend any job offer? What ability, what real skill, productive skill is there? Most of the time, and if you look at even the way we have, no wonder last year, the education minister was saying that some of the programs we have in our tertiary institutions would have to be reviewed, outrightly cancelled, because they do not tie with the demands of industry.
Now, okay. Let's go to the priorities.
I'm coming. I guess no. This is so important, but I'll state what I think should be our priority as a country. So maybe by way of wrapping up, I'm saying that indeed we should pay attention to the way we have designed our educational infrastructure. Okay. But for me, if there is any priority we should consider, I think we should reorient our political system. I don't know how possible that would be, but if we could adopt what China is doing, for example, where right now they are not necessarily practicing a democracy, what they have is communism. Everybody in the country has come together.
Okay.
They have vested power into one individual. What they are saying is that, look, this is our objective.
We have a caller. Let's
okay.
go back to the phone lines. Hello, good morning, very Reverend Stephen Mensah. Good morning. Over Africa Cape Coast. Good morning, Reverend. Good morning, Reverend. Okay, into your question of the day, and they say, what should Ghana's development plan focus on? Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Reverend Pacho, it's you. Hello, good morning. Okay, into number near 0256253461. Also, be to me, afraid.
I was making the case that our developmental priority should be a reorientation or an overhaul of our political system. And I was making the case of China, for example. China doesn't practice a democracy now. What they have is basically communism, where the entirety of the nation have vested power into a single individual as a leader. That leader is supposed to govern according to their collective aspirations that they have all agreed on as a country. It may be difficult for us to execute it in Ghana, but let me paint a picture of its practicality if we were to consider it in the first place. It will mean that right from the outset, we won't have...
Please hold on to it. Hello, good morning, very Reverend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the contribution I want to make, I think today's newspapers give us a clue. The Supreme newspaper, for instance, mentioned YEA educating graduates or youth on brick production and construction.
Yeah, 21,000.
Yeah, the 21,000, yeah. And we another newspaper mentioned employable skill training. I think the issue is about, we are talking about holistic education, where skill training adds to theoretical education and character formation. And the other also is financing and supporting young businesses. So in short, we normally say education is the head, the hand, the heart, and the hind. Hind means leg. It means that every education or every program you offer in school, either it's a head knowledge program, hand knowledge program, heart knowledge program, you should be able to build a business idea out of it. So skill development has not been given much of attention in our schools, as we are saying, and which is usually theoretical assessed than and certification. So I'm also adding up that we should be able to build vocational technical programs for every student. For instance, every student should be able to learn one vocational or technical or agric program. Every student at least one. So that at the time the person graduates, the person has an idea of starting a business. Other than completing SHS and university, and we are now coming to give them skill training or employable training. At that time, they lose interest because they feel that then what is the essence of all that have been taught in school? So it means that we must rather, they will prefer if that kind of education is given them through their educational system. So that they build the interest and the skill in it. Then they can be supported as a small-scale business and they grow. Then we can have development.
Thank you very much, Reverend. Thank you. But you were saying something.
Yes, I hope no other caller interrupts my flow of thoughts. I was making the point that just like China, who have adopted communism, so in communism, what they have effectively done is to vest the power of the state into one individual who is leading. There is a committed developmental path that all of them are pursuing, and they are not doing multi-party politics like we have in Ghana. I'm saying that practically, to paint a picture, if we were to consider that in Ghana, it would mean that, first of all, we would disband the NPP and the NDC, indeed all other political parties. And then we'll say that we will want maybe a crop of people to lead, of course, from all the parties. So it will mean that we will not wake up in the morning and hear somebody describing somebody as incompetent on radio, another person rebutting, another party staging a press conference, another party holding a rally, and all of those things will be out. The first thing that is going to induce in us is unity. Now we will be thinking about Ghana. We will not be thinking about NPP. Neither are we going to be occupied with thoughts about the NDC. Everything is going to be Ghana, because at the end of the day, we are not advancing any unique party interest. Imagine how the country is going to be like. So, should
we school these two major political parties on this?
No, of course they are already aware, but you see, of course they all do understand how possible even this is. But it's about
Bishop Morrison has called. Hello, good morning, Bishop. You're calling from Kumasi. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, Pa, can you go ahead?
The two leading political parties, the National Democratic Congress, the New Patriotic Party, indeed, they have formed the duopoly in Ghana now. It's always between the baton is always exactly this or that. So they understand, I mean, the practicality of this suggestion. But it's always a thing of interest, okay? So the NDC will be thinking, if we were to unite forces with the NPP and we were to govern in a communist fashion, okay, I may not be the president I want to be. I may not be the vice president.
Bishop is back.
Exactly.
Hello, good morning, Bishop. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, bye.
Exactly. Okay, it's about the interest. Bishop is back.
Hello, Bishop. Good morning. Hello, Bishop Morrison. Hello, good morning, Bishop. Okay.
Not to think if we scrape all this, the winner takes all. It will also look like the communist something you're talking about.
Yes, but it will not be. It will not be effective. The reason it will not be effective is that at the end of the day, there is a winner. But we are saying the winner doesn't take it all.
But it means other parts of the portfolio will be what you call maybe shared with other parties. Then in the government, we'll have reps from PNC,
reps from NDC, all of them.
They all come together to form a government.
Let's try Bishop again and let's see. Hello, good morning, Bishop.
Talking about the fact that education and then the development of a child is in two parts, both in the home and also in the school. For example, some of us learned farming when we were young. Our parents would go into the farm, we go along with them, and then hands-on training. Some would be fisher folks, and they will go out to sea, or maybe accompany their mothers to the shore and all those things. So when you grow, you already grow with some of these skills. And the lesson also have from school. But these days, they talk about child labor and all those things. These things are not child labor. During holidays, you go to the farm or the seashore or whatever. And then on Saturdays, we do all these things. So when you grow up, you already grow up knowing that these skills will help you. In fact, for example, when we're going, we had woodwork and technical drawing and then metalwork and all these things right from one. So if we combine all of these, by the time you grow up, you can be a lawyer and still be a farmer. So I think that we should look at all of these things and encourage our young people right from the very beginning. But some of our people think that what is important is getting 10 A's and all those things. So they'll send them to private classes and all those. But if you train them from the very beginning with hands-on experience, they'll grow to love some of these skills and then even practicing on part-time basis. In the past, when there was OFI, Operation Feed Yourself, people were having a whole lot of things, backyard gardening and poultry farmer, and all of these things contributed to national development. So I think we should look at these things again.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for your contribution. Pa?
Exactly.
Peter
was making the case that if we scrapped the winner takes it all approach, winner takes all approach, we would be nearing, my suggestion. But I'm saying that is not practical because at the end of the day, there will still be vested political interest. winner takes it all simply means that you still have NDC, you still have MPP, you still have CPP, all the other political parties, except that when an election is won, no one political party would amass all the power and the privileges. At the end of the day, the struggle is there. You see, it's the contest that creates the conflict. The contest is what really creates all the aggression. The fact that we are competing, the element of competition should first of all be removed. Because if it is not removed, look, that thing, I don't know, it has not happened in Ghana before. It would even lead to a lot of sabotage. You are party A, B, C. I am in power. I've brought the two of you on board. In the next election, we are going to compete against one another again. Do you think I, as the chief custodian of the power, would trust you enough to give you certain sensitive roles and all of that?
No.
I would not do that. So it is not practicable. We make it, sometimes it looks as if it is possible. But in real terms, I mean, the level of treachery and betrayal we are going to see, it would be, I mean, it would be difficult.
Christiana, you are calling from 𝗟𝗜�10 Good morning.
Morning, Ola. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, Dishi.
Morning.
Morning, Pacho. Nami adomo so e.
Nami adomo ho ye pa. Na wo ye pe papa.
Me da se.
Wo ye pe baby am pe say wo ye ka dress ni ma me wache.
Pacho you mate. Nami sha unso.
Pacho wa ware.
What is more?
Pacho wa ware.
Me Pacho there be.
Me Pacho feel we ye wache.
Amen.
When the bear come out for them, I'm here no invite me.
Me Pacho.
No man, I have power.
Me Pacho you me fa. Me da se.
So all the police contribution.
I don't think that be a park with Sia ma okasa say because money me if you move back.
Then they
Oh,
be
no, now wait. I don't know.
Some would chafa, Monjana man would chafa. Yemi, what a toss on a casa. I never buy casa here on casa. Nina Babus, no problem.
No, David. So back to the point. But I was surprised. I mean, I've never seen something like this before anyway. Yeah. So it would actually encourage sabotage them more. Party A, B, C, all of us are pretentiously fighting for the country. It will not happen because look at it. So if Party A were in power, I mean, they are the actual winners of the election. Do you think Party A will appoint someone as Party B to be the Chief Justice?
No.
Or to be the Speaker? It will not happen. It's not practical.
And it hasn't happened in this country.
It is not. You see, there is a lot of mistrust, and the mistrust stems from the fact that we don't have a national way of thinking. So at the end of the day, everybody is suspecting.
So we should plan the national way, and we should think the national way.
Look at the state of parliament even now. We have a hang parliament.
Yeah,
what are we even seeing? We were all thinking that now that we even have a hang parliament, they would have been united, they would have been unanimous and all of that. That is the same as that power sharing thing. Indeed, we even hear, no disrespect, and I'm saying this advisedly, that people in the NDC, ordinarily we were thinking they would have, been more accountable. We have heard, I mean, so many stories that sometimes they even have, backdoor dealings with the NPP so that they massage the numbers and all of that. If you look at the passage of the e-levy and all of, we've heard a lot of stories in that respect. So for me, I don't think it's workable. What I think can really be effective is let's just disband the divisions in the first place. Because now, if you are in Party A, I'm in Party B, and you bring me on board, do I lose my identity as a member of Party B? No. I don't, and my loyalty still is to Party B. But you are only extending a hand of invitation to me. Didn't former President Kufuor bring 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 on board?
Yeah.
Of course, he gave him a ministerial appointment.
Yeah.
Subsequently, Yes. Subsequently, didn't 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 form a political party to contest the very party? So at the end of that, it's a facade. People think, it is just not practicable.
Interesting. Now, before we go, Peter, what's Mama 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 time? Say I'm so 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 money in Kasabio.
And priorities now now say something and money appear to us one. The priorities now and
we a final one no.
I mean Kasabio. Meaning. I'm still on and Yameka and one minua pa be so no. Aban bia ba na opese osesa ehoma yesua e wo school.
any emuniema emusa say every dispensation biano they normally write those books to suit our current problems. Yes, I know. But then I can also tell you, say books be in 1990, is still relevant today. Only that we have to maybe amend some part. But I'm still insisting, say, if indeed on minor then we should consider, say, on maimu and mana ye one. Yes. But it can
Peter, Dennis was line. So hello, good morning, Dennis.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
I don't know your names, but that's a Mogai in the back, apart from the lady, and White, the other guy. He is making a reference to us to, I think him, or a reference to Parliament and government, both parties, or all the parties, and correct. There are things that cannot happen. Not that people don't know, but it can't happen. What else? Yeah. Bibi to say, what for? You said Kubo engaged one of the Indum or something.
Yeah, Pakistan Indum.
And you know what that cost him? I'm not saying it cost him something, but what I'm saying is these things come back spitting at your face. People have done good to people. Let's say party A, the intelligence to support or to help my position in the party to grow. But who name Nipano character say as a personality but time Africa, we all know these things. Would you be called with not because of party differences, but say within our background you don't have to trust human beings. We are humans. We are not robots to be psyched. Leaking information to the next party nankasa. If you're not going to say leaking any information, he might have a discussion in his party that will bring out vital things in your party. Because only one age man. Okay. What I say. Okay. So Niao Canadian you can't change it. Bibi to say LGBT gay issue. I wouldn't like to talk about it, but let me brush on it. She nyame nyame obobi you can't change the world. I don't support so being gay, but obia nipa bia bema ya wo oba kakra wonu. Any bema kakra or bansu or bema kakra unumu any your back it's a jeans no kodos nani plan come out to be something else. You don't have to blame the person. Say underning
Dennis that's a pa.
Oh chia konde no kwasem ne say me no ya dua ye me am tell ba bia ni me bema straight.
But even
I'm on floor, please, Papacy.
No, I just want to say that.
Me just say me am to Obabi and me amete ha. Obabi and me mu. Bema me bema. Me rom be bia me bema. Obabi and me mu. Enti me sraw. Adie me Obabi and me mu. Ya me ka sa ba sem you start station so. Me amete we. Me bema na Obabi mu na. Me sa son ka. Oh man, some car now. I'm talking about one of them for more. I'm a that's how they man from the penny idea about Ben. Oh my.
But even the point he was making, I mean, that was the same thing I was saying anyway. That was the same thing I was saying anyway, that it is not practicable. I don't know if he didn't get me. But just by way of conclusion, I would emphasize again that for me, 30 seconds. I'm saying that by way of emphasis, I'm saying that really, if we are going to develop, let's recalibrate our kind of politics. Okay, I would advocate that we shun democracy.
Antonio, I think we need reorientation. What do we? What do I buy idea? Say Ghana dear essay ya. She count. Say idea esiwa essay. Me ya dear. Men tia into benkum and that's a different. Fire. wo de ne se wa pie kwa bonten aye wadwuma akoda etu na akoda das bin kura obi kura sa enson fifie a ejawom no abanya de enti ohwe agum na de esei school dan abanya si okobra ne koto ho a ho na okokọ hye sabio ahaban na wajane na ho abanya de o ka o se abanya de ebe won se wote aban bus mu na obi aso seat leather or why obisa or say abanya de and I think say a quiet person dwene no yen sesa na yen tell ade yesua e school no say it will affect our brain and the way we think say ade wey omanya de me mfa say me so me de until then no
30 seconds
oh sir yo yen fa ne sa say obi e fa wadwuma mu say ya wote we private adwuma na wo ye no e what time wo de bedu ha ekoya aban adwuma enso what time e de ko and I think say ne nyina ka ho na ma oman no entumi enyini
Peter yedase asa Inte Peter Wonders or lecturer at the African University College of Communications and I face so 𝗟𝗏𝗘𝗏𝗘 or a journalist and I face so two-time nominee Emma BBC Komla Domo Award. Now you discuss Ghana at 67 what should be the priorities for the nation's development blueprint and ba zoom so na ewo Most Reverend Professor Emmanuel K. Asante or your past presiding bishop and afenso OTA Professor Samuel Kofi Afarley and also so a president at the Christian University College ewo Kumasi enti ye damu nyina se mobile ya muni ya bekasa enti ye behwe na Ghana so Ghana tie yen enti ye behwe na yesu ya ye ni na sa kwaba ye ba bepon. see ya sign ababim yejina ho say dia na we hu say ba ababepon but answer na be call no yen we yenuanom a happy birthday and then the Reverend Edmond Irienchi from the children you have raised and you are still raising. We wish you a happy blessed birthday, Daddy. Thanks for revealing Christ to us. Increase, multiply and replenish. Have a blessed day and a blessed day ahead of you. We wish you a blessed birthday. From the entire team here at WTV, we wish you a blessed birthday. Happy birthday to George 𝗟𝗡𝗩𝗘, President, Captain of Israel's host and guide for all who seek the land above. Beneath thy shadow we abide. MHB 608 from Christ the King Methodist Suma members, East Legon. We wish you a happy, blessed birthday, Mommy. Happy birthday, Mrs. Beatrice Nketia. The Lord will never forget you all the days of your life. From your husband, Mr. Raymond Nketia, wishing you a blessed birthday. Blessed. Oh, beautiful. Lady Godlina Ajwa Eyaba Apau. It's your birthday, and the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon you, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. MHB 608 from your father, Godfred Apau of St. Peter Methodist Society, Ashaiman. Happy birthday, beautiful lady. You're very beautiful. Auntie, happy birthday to us celebrating their birthdays this week and beyond. We wish you nothing but the best of the year. It's time for us to know the answer for brain game.
Yes, Miss Na.
No, be saying Agama lizard.
Exactly. So at the beginning, we projected an 𝗟𝗏 symbol to viewers, which you see on your screens now, and we said if you know the answer, send it to our WhatsApp number. So some of the answers we have here, from Kwame Bosman, the name of the 𝗟𝗏 symbol is Wawa Abba. Please know the answer is not Wawa Abba. We also have another from an unknown texter. We encourage you to add your name when you send your answers. The person says the 𝗟𝗏 symbol for today is Denchem. Another two from Joyce Donko, Enchi, Western North, and she says the name of the 𝗟𝗏 symbol is Denchem. We have a final one from Eric Abuaje Abrefa Setre Kwamai. The answer is Denchem. So
there was an answer too from one of the doctors from the Winchi Methodist Hospital. No, no, say Denchem.
Okay.
But what is the real answer? What is the correct one?
Let's unveil to see the real answer.
Oh, you are all correct.
So there you have it. The answer is Denchem, and Denchem means crocodile. It's a symbol of adaptability and cleverness, and this is from the proverb Odenchem dansiomu nanso ohome inframa. The crocodile lives in water, yet it breathes air. So that is it for today's brain game.
Oh, so before we go, there's a proverb for the day, but let's take a look at who our sponsors were, who supported us from 6 to 10. I want to say thank you to Danwell Insurance Company, located inside the behind the Presbyterian Church, KFK Foods, the first floor of the Wesley Towers in Accra, and Tema Community 25 are next. Now, Sankofa Natural Spices, Multi-Credit Savings and Loans, Methodist Investments and Properties Limited. And the final one goes to the Methodist University Ghana. Admissions are still ongoing. Grab your form if you're a Methodist, it is free for you. If you're a non-Methodist, you get to pay for it. Proverb of the day. Can you guess what the proverb of the day today is? So it says that rising early makes the road short. Rising early makes the road short, and Rachel says she agrees. So planning ahead makes it easier. So you have to plan ahead in everything you do. When you start early, you are able to finish early. So planning is good for us.
Even when you are coming to work, if you want to beat the traffic,
yeah,
wake up early, come to work.
You get your stuff ready,
exactly.
And you get here early. Yes. So plan early, make it easier for yourself and for everyone around you. That's how we wrap up on today's segment. Today's session has been beautiful. You at home also joined us, and we say thank you to you. Rachel, thank you very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so we'll come your way same time tomorrow morning. It's Friday tomorrow. Enjoy our Friday session. Don't go away. Stay with us from now till tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of our programs. We are out.